Welcome to Spaceverse, your portal to cosmic adventures. The time has come, folks. We've got an asteroid headed our way, and it has the potential to throw our entire civilization into complete chaos. For the first time ever, NASA has to seriously prepare for an asteroid impact. For a while, it wasn't clear just how dangerous apophis actually was. But now, a new study says it's going to hit Earth. So how bad will the destruction be? And more importantly, where will it hit us? Canadian expert Dan Riskin is convinced that apophis will hit the Earth. It's only a matter of time. Now, Dan Riskin is no stranger to this kind of stuff. He's an evolutionary biologist and a popular author who talks a lot about the fate of the Earth and our civilization. He's raising the big question. Where do we go after day X? Will Earth really plunge into chaos and change dramatically after apophis hits? We've known about this 370-meter asteroid since 2004. Initially, apophis was flagged as a serious threat because early calculations showed a small but real chance of a collision in 2029. This warning freaked out the world and led to intense scientific research. Scientists have been studying every bit of information they could find about the asteroid, but it's tough work. Even though the asteroid is big enough to cause a major impact, it's just a tiny speck in the vastness of space that we have to somehow detect and observe. Asteroids don't emit light themselves. They only reflect light from the sun or from planets and moons when they fly at certain angles to these light sources. So, after the initial warning that apophis could collide with us in 2029, NASA reassured everyone with an all clear. An orbit correction indicated we might dodge it this time. But guess what? Apophis is set to return in 2036, and this asteroid seems determined to visit us. In 2029, apophis will come so close it will pass beneath our satellites. Scientists have confirmed it will miss Earth this time, but don't celebrate just yet. It's too soon to relax. One big uncertainty remains. During its approach, Earth's gravity could alter the asteroid's orbit, making future encounters, especially in 2036, unpredictable. If apophis' orbit changes, we'd have just under 7 years to prepare for impact. This narrow window adds a layer of urgency and complexity to the situation. Dan Riskin, a renowned evolutionary scientist, emphasizes the need to take these uncertainties seriously. Asteroid and comet impacts have occurred throughout Earth's history. They are a part of the normal cosmic life of our planet. The Earth will survive, but our society's survival is less certain. We've been studying asteroids extensively, but can we ever truly be ready for such a catastrophic event? Beyond the initial violent impact and massive destruction, the consequences of an apophis impact could be far-reaching and catastrophic on a global scale. The immediate aftermath would likely involve widespread devastation, obliterating entire regions and causing unprecedented loss of life and infrastructure. However, the long-term effects could be even more dire. An impact of this magnitude would eject enormous quantities of dust, ash, and debris into the atmosphere, creating a thick veil that could encircle the planet. This particulate matter would block sunlight, leading to a dramatic drop in global temperatures, a phenomenon often referred to as a nuclear winter. Such a scenario would result in prolonged darkness, significantly reduced temperatures, and a breakdown in global weather patterns. The cooling effect and lack of sunlight would severely disrupt global agriculture, leading to crop failures and food shortages. Ecosystems would collapse, and the already fragile balance of nature would be thrown into disarray. The reduction in agricultural output would cause famine, economic instability, and societal upheaval. Water supplies could also be contaminated, and the sudden change in climate could cause extreme weather events, further compounding the disaster. Human civilization, as we know it, would be under threat, facing a struggle for survival in a drastically altered world. To prevent such a cataclysmic event, it is imperative that we take proactive measures. Investing in asteroid detection and deflection technologies, enhancing our understanding of near-Earth objects, and fostering international collaboration on planetary defense are crucial steps. We must act now to ensure that such a disaster remains a theoretical possibility and not a reality. We can't let it come to that. If apophis is on a collision course, we must act before it hits. We'd need to try to divert its path so it flies by. This could involve using spacecraft to nudge the asteroid into a different trajectory, a concept known as asteroid deflection. However, the success of such an endeavor remains uncertain. Factors like the asteroid's composition, the timing of our intervention, and the technology available all play crucial roles in determining whether we can successfully alter its course. Riskin also points out that these interventions require significant international cooperation and resources. The global community must be prepared to invest in the necessary technology and infrastructure to detect, track, and potentially deflect threatening asteroids. This involves not only scientific research, but also political will and public awareness. Moreover, the societal implications of a potential impact are profound. How do we prepare communities for such a disaster? Evacuation plans, emergency supplies, and public education will be essential in mitigating the impact on human life. The psychological impact of living under the threat of an asteroid collision also cannot be underestimated. Public communication strategies must be developed to keep people informed without causing unnecessary panic. Dan Riskin has outlined a scenario indicating that an impact in today's world would be catastrophic for the entire globe. The aftermath would thrust Earth into a new era of chaos and transformation. So, what does NASA's latest study reveal? NASA is actively preparing, with top scientists worldwide examining this significant asteroid. Their latest asteroid defense study evaluates the potential threats from near-Earth objects using simulations and hypothetical scenarios. The findings highlight the urgency and challenges of planetary defense. While this study is a crucial first step in addressing the growing concerns about apophis, there's much more to be done. Lindy Johnson, director of NASA's Planetary Defense Office, stressed the need for comprehensive information on the size and orbit of asteroids to mitigate practical issues arising from uncertainties. The study and its exercises reveal significant gaps in international preparedness for such potential disasters. In a detailed hypothetical exercise, NASA simulated an asteroid that initially went undetected due to its orbit around the Sun, setting it on a collision course with Earth. This fictional asteroid was large enough to cause substantial regional damage if it impacted. The simulation exposed weaknesses in global cooperation. Countries currently in conflict or discussion, or even at war, would need to collaborate with the rest of the world on this critical issue. How to finance a defense strategy remains uncertain. The international community must come together, as multiple probes might be needed to push apophis out of its deadly path. If all attempts fail, we would still need sufficient resources to prepare the planet and its inhabitants for the aftermath. The results from NASA's recent exercise were deeply concerning. It highlighted that despite having a hypothetical warning period of 14 years, humanity is currently not well equipped to prevent a catastrophic event caused by an asteroid. This finding underscores the urgent need for immediate action if we want to safeguard our world from such a disaster. Importantly, apophis will not be the only asteroid to pose a threat. We can expect more asteroids to potentially endanger us. In the worst-case scenario, one of these asteroids might appear with little to no advance warning, making a collision almost inevitable. So what exactly does apophis look like? The thought that a 370-meter-wide asteroid is orbiting out there and will cross Earth's path several times over the next century is quite unsettling. Despite its frequent crossings, apophis often remains out of sight. Even with our most advanced telescopes, we still lack a clear and comprehensive image of this asteroid. Officially designated as 99942 apophis, it remains shrouded in mystery. As Lindy Johnson from NASA has pointed out, acquiring more detailed information about apophis is crucial. Fortunately, NASA is actively addressing this. The OSIRIS-REx probe is currently on its journey to apophis and is expected to return with valuable samples from the asteroid's surface within a few months. Understanding apophis's exact composition, density, and weight is essential for devising an effective strategy to alter its trajectory and prevent a potential collision. The origins of apophis are believed to be from the asteroid belt located between Mars and Jupiter. This belt is a vast reservoir of ancient rocks, some dating back to the early formation of our solar system, which can occasionally send asteroids toward Earth. Researchers have discovered that in a few decades, Jupiter could shift into a position within the solar system that might gravitationally influence the asteroid belt, potentially sending multiple asteroids in our direction. These predictions further emphasize the urgent need for global preparedness and proactive measures to protect our planet from such cosmic threats. Apophis is currently following an elliptical orbit around the Sun, which brings it close to Earth on a regular basis. The most critical approach is scheduled for April 13, 2029. During this event, apophis will pass approximately 31,000 kilometers above Earth's surface, about 1/10 of the distance to the Moon. During this close approach, apophis might travel through a specific alignment in Earth's gravity. If it encounters this keyhole, the likelihood of an impact in 2036 could increase to 75%. So, what could happen if apophis were to hit us? The consequences of an apophis impact could be catastrophic, varying significantly depending on where it strikes, whether on land, in water, or in a densely or sparsely populated area. Let's delve into the potential scenarios and their effects on Earth. If apophis were to collide with the ocean, which is likely given Earth's large water surface, the immediate impact would be immense. The collision would vaporize a vast amount of seawater, resulting in a massive tsunami. This tsunami could generate waves several hundred meters high and flood coastal regions extending over thousands of kilometers. Coastal towns and villages would face severe damage, and critical infrastructure such as industrial plants, ports, airports, expensive villas, and vacation resorts could be obliterated in an instant. Additionally, the impact would launch large quantities of water vapor and debris into the atmosphere, leading to periods of darkness and dramatic climate changes. The release of aerosols and the subsequent cooling of the global climate could resemble a volcanic winter. This would likely result in crop failures for years, putting the global food supply at serious risk. Given these potential outcomes, we need more than just space probes. We also require alternative agricultural strategies that can operate independently of external conditions in the event of such a catastrophe. Preparing for these scenarios is crucial to ensure our survival and resilience in the face of such cosmic threats. If apophis were to strike land, the consequences would be nothing short of catastrophic. The impact would unleash an explosion equivalent to the detonation of multiple nuclear bombs. The sheer force of the explosion would create a gargantuan crater stretching several kilometers across. The immense pressure wave and heat generated would obliterate everything within a vast radius, flattening forests, demolishing buildings, and causing widespread destruction to infrastructure. The immediate human and animal casualties would be enormous, with entire ecosystems being disrupted or destroyed. In less populated areas, such as deserts or the Arctic, while the immediate human losses might be relatively low, the environmental fallout would be significant. These regions, though sparsely inhabited, play crucial roles in the global climate system. The impact could dramatically alter the Earth's trajectory and climate, potentially causing long-term and profound changes to the planet's ecosystems. Given that Earth's ecosystem is incredibly delicate, such an impact could lead to irreversible alterations in climate patterns and environmental stability. On the other hand, if apophis were to collide with a densely populated urban area, the results would be even more devastating. Imagine a major city like New York, Tokyo, or Mumbai being struck. Millions of lives could be lost in an instant. The entire cityscape would be annihilated, with critical infrastructure such as power grids, water supplies, and communication networks collapsing completely. The economic repercussions would be staggering, with the loss of not only lives, but also billions of dollars in infrastructure and property. The survivors would be faced with an unprecedented humanitarian crisis, grappling with the immediate aftermath of the impact, including fires, toxic gases, and possible radiation exposure. The long-term consequences of such an impact would be equally severe. The release of pollutants and debris into the atmosphere would likely result in a significant decline in air quality worldwide. This could lead to widespread health problems, including respiratory issues and increased cancer rates. The impact would also have substantial effects on global agriculture. The combination of darkness, temperature drops, and atmospheric changes could cause severe crop failures, leading to food shortages and potential famine on a global scale. There was a brief period when a potential impact off the west coast of the US was predicted for 2029. Such an event could mean that cities like Los Angeles, Seattle, and San Francisco would be ravaged by a massive tsunami. The force of the impact could also trigger a chain reaction at this sensitive location, potentially causing seismic activity such as the rupture of the San Andreas Fault in California. In Europe, an impact could set off volcanic eruptions in Italy, further complicating the crisis. To mitigate these potentially disastrous effects, having an effective early warning system is crucial. This would allow for timely intervention to minimize the impact's severity. However, the challenge of evacuating millions or even billions of people from endangered areas and constructing protective infrastructure is monumental. It requires extensive preparation, coordination, and resources. NASA's recent study underscores the need for global collaboration and preparedness to address such cosmic threats effectively. The importance of developing robust defense mechanisms and contingency plans cannot be overstated, as we face the real possibility of these high-stakes scenarios becoming a reality. And that's it. Thanks for joining us on Spaceverse. Today, we uncovered the potential impact of the asteroid apophis and what it means for our future. Remember, staying informed is our first line of defense. If you enjoyed this journey through space, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more stellar content. Until next time, keep reaching for the stars.